Hey guys, this is Sorted. In this video I'm going to show you a handy little jig I made to do some work on the roof. So the problem I found when I was recently working on the roof was when you have some tools on the roof, especially on a pitched roof, they have a tendency to slide down. So the solution I came up with involved making a little jig that I could use while I'm working on the roof. Here I'm using a spirit level, and once I have the bubble in the middle to represent horizontal, I use my sliding T-bevel to gauge the angle of the roof. There goes sliding again. So now just lock that angle in place on my T-bevel, which is about 25 degrees. And now I get an old scrap of wood from the shed. This is a piece of melamine, it doesn't matter what you use. And I measure 35 centimeters, which is the width of the shelf. And now I measure 35 centimeters on an old scrap of melamine. Make the line square using my T-square. And use my 25-degree sliding bevel measurement to draw a diagonal line. And then just extend that line using any straight edge. Okay, cut them on your table saw or on your miter saw and use those cuts and attach them to your shelf. So in this case I'm just marking it up where I'm going to be putting my screws, and I'm measuring about 15 centimeters from both ends, and the same on the other side. Then just put in a couple of pilot holes. And what you do on one side, you go ahead and do on the other side as well. So now that the pilot holes are all drilled, we throw in a few screws. And I just throw in a couple of more screws just to make sure it's secure. Okay, with all the screws in, the shelf is made. Let's go and test it. Bring it up on the roof. And I put it on the slope, and voila, it doesn't seem to slide. I put my leaf blower on it and some other tools. This little jig is very handy when you're working on a pitched roof.
All it is a little bit of a shelf with angled brackets measured so that the surface is horizontal.
And that's a jig to help your tools not slide off the roof when you're working on it. Sorted.